If The View is your favorite show, you might be a little slow. Yes, it's time for
Our View on The View.
very serious music. They love to play the race card because logic for them is hard. On Monday's episode, the ladies tackled the Rittenhouse not guilty verdict, and true to their feckless form, their reaction was something to behold. See for yourself. See for yourselfers.
I can't go and protest now without worrying that some nutcase is going to have a gun, cross the state line, and come and shoot me. That's the problem. That he has opened Pandora's box with some crazies out there.
The only crazies I see around here are those View chicks. Am I right?
A sexist would
A
say.
sexist would say. But I digress, says the sexist. They talk less sense than me after stealing those pills from Kat's purse. Or peels. What's a peel? Then there's Whoopi.
Even all the excuses in the world does not change the fact that 3 people got shot.
Yeah.
2 people were murdered.
Yeah.
To me, it's murder. I'm sorry.
All right. And to me, that's about as educated a legal opinion as the Rittenhouse prosecutor explaining that you should take a beating instead of defending yourself, or that the closer someone is to you with a gun, the less likely they'll use it. Here's more.
Sunday, if he were black, would he be free now?
No, he wouldn't be alive now. People now will think, well, someone can legally come to a protest and under the cover of law, kill me.
If he were black, he could run for president and probably win. But there she goes again, playing the race card. She's more predictable than gas after a cheesy Gordita Supreme at Taco Bell. For someone named Sunny, she sure is cloudy. And we'll be right back with a very special episode of Punky Brewster. Kennedy,
Yes.
what is it about The View? It's so interesting that it's called The View because they only have one view.
Yes.
If they see everything through, they see through everything through one filter, which I would call it the race filter or the presser versus a press filter. All of them see it through the View.
Yeah, so you talk about, the monoparty system in certain parts of Wisconsin and Seattle, Portland, Oakland, San Francisco. I'd throw all of California in there. And that's the problem is they have a view that's not really truly challenged. So they think that everyone agrees with them, and you don't grow when you're in an environment like that. And they've actually devolved. And I think Joy Behar has turned into Marge Schott. She's like Marianne from Brooklyn meets Marge Schott. Just, and I thought Joy Reid was my least favorite Joy until I watched that clip of Joy Behar. And I'm like, she's a truly awful, unthoughtful person. And I think that every ABC executive must be drinking actively.
I would if I were watching The View. Your impersonation of Joy Behar reminded me, however, of the chicken lady in Freaks or the chicken lady in Female Trouble, the egg lady.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Why do I do this to myself?
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Not even.
You know what? I tell you all the time, it's just you and me
Yes.
in the movie world.
I know.
Everyone else is asleep.
Yes, yes.
I Googled it, and even the internet doesn't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
His phone is so fast.
Our movie club is so lonely.
It's us two.
Yes.
Watching things that cause people to leave
But
the
not
room.
together.
Yes, we know. We watch them alone.
Yeah.
And then we watch our spouses leave.
Leave
Yes.
immediately.
Do you watch The View?
No, I can honestly say I do not. I don't have to. What kills me is when she goes to protest. She used it like a pronoun. Like, what are you gonna do today? I gotta go get milk, get a haircut, and I gotta protest, and I gotta be home by 6. And she leaves out the part. And they kind of talked about looters. 1% of the crowd was looting, and yes, they burnt down a neighborhood, but it was just 1%.
Yes.
Fuzzy math.
Yeah. So if that 1% person shows up at my house with a lighter, I'm not going to go, well, there's just this one guy here.
Yes.
Please light away. I'm going to shoot the son of a bitch in my front yard. He was acquitted by a jury of his peers. Period. There's nothing, you can hate it, you can, but it doesn't matter because it's not part of their view. She's trying to say the protesters were nice and they were doing their thing and this monster crossed state lines and he did all that. Even if that's not factually true, facts mean nothing because it goes back to one thing. They're improv-ing.
Yeah, I don't.
Every one of them, there's no facts. You can't argue with them, so they just make it up.
Yeah, I don't believe her, right? She's like,
No,
the
she
main
doesn't.
concern. You're lying awake at night that you can't go to all those protests you always go to because you're too scared that now you're going to be shot by a teen boy. I don't believe that that's true.
Yeah, go to Walgreens and get your prescription in
Yeah.
Cisco, sweetheart. See how that is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I don't believe either of those things are true. First of all, I don't think she's a big protest gal.
No.
What would she be protesting?
I don't know.
Loud noise in her neighborhood.
She'd be
This
protesting.
Chardonnay is not cold enough.
Yeah,
It is 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
This should be much colder.
Like anybody who looks at her wrong, like certainly not like issues bigger than her.
No. Well, that's hard to
People
find.
who say good morning,
Yeah, wrong.
good afternoon, not on her watch.
She said that's like their main. She's so worried.
Okay,
I'm
but
like, you're not.
Little kids taking candy off her gingerbread house before she eats them.
Oh,
That has got to be a memory, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. She's the lady in the gingerbread house.
Can I add something very quickly? That's how the prosecutor lost this case, is he looked at the jury and went, there were heroes in that crowd, and all the people on the jury are like, you're full of hot garbage. Like, my car dealership got burned to the ground.
Yeah.
You know, it's like my friend's dress shop got looted. They were not heroes.
Yeah.
Those are people who live there.
Right.
They did not want their city burned down the first time or after the verdict, and the prosecutor's sitting there telling them how great they were. That was, what a dingbat.
That was a huge mistake. Jamie, what are your thoughts?
Oh, thanks for including me.
Why were you feeling alone?
I feel great. I actually dated a protester once.
Really?
Yeah, it's really great because you can always tell what's wrong because it's written on their sign. I think it's so ironic. Isn't it ironic that the show is called The View and there's nothing to look at while you're watching it? You know what I mean? And how weird is it that their names are Joy, Whoopi, and Sunny? How fun does that sound? It's not fun at all. None of this is fun. And stop with the crossing state lines.
Yes.
I flew into Newark. I crossed state lines to get to the studio.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that big of a deal.
True. That's true. And they're okay with open borders. Am I right? Huh?
Right? Huh?
Am I right? Huh? I like the cut
So
of your
you don't
jib.
like it, Gutfeld, when other people use your joke, do you? Burns, don't it?
I was gonna see if he was gonna say anything or
He
not.
looked at me like, well, this guy.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
If I had 3 months to live, I'd put The View on so it seemed longer.
That was pretty good. All right, you jerk. Up next, Andrew Cuomo's former employer says he better get a lawyer.